Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? And we are one step closer to answering that question. I am your humble lore master, Don Marshall. Around me are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends.
Hello.
Hi, internet friends.
Setting the record for not getting annoyed with Beery near enough to leave, Charlotte joins us for a 5th episode. Thank you so much.
I don't know why they're letting me stay here.
You're trapped. Here forever.
Somebody help me.
Before we get started, we do want to thank our sponsors. The stream would not be possible without Free League Publishing. They sent us advanced copies of their new TTRPG, The One Ring, so that we could play in a more fleshed out version of Middle-earth. If you would like to play in Middle-earth, order your copy of The One Ring, the bundle, the starter set, the core rulebook, the dice, the maps. If any of that interests you, go to freeleaguepublishing.com today. Special thanks to The Rook and the Raven. .com for giving us these amazing books to take all of our notes in, something the players will probably want to utilize, mostly Tori, today. You can also get some merchandise for the Unpredicted Party down below. Folks, you will be happy to know, and I mean folks by players, that there has been a push on the Discord for Flubberworm merchandise.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying yes.
Love
I'm just
it, love
saying
it.
the idea is in my head. You may have inceptioned me. So keep an eye out. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Depending on how our players play, we may have a break at the 1 hour mark. So keep an eye out for that. A few others to thank. Sarah M. Shunky, who is at Sarah M. Shunky on Instagram, for the remarkable artwork. The battle maps by Lil Wit the Cartographer. Find his services on Facebook. And the music has been crafted by Cullen Vance. Stream all of his music on Spotify, Bandcamp, and iTunes. Or you can go to Cullen Vance Creative to listen to all of his stuff. Finally, a very special thanks to my wife, Nat, who has helped me organize a lot of this campaign so it doesn't just stay in my head. Honey, thank you so much. With all that out of the way, are we ready to get started?
Yes.
Oh, I think so.
Let's go.
I'm going to be.
No, finish it. Finish it. I'm keeping it in.
I'm going to be eating soup while you're starting.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
Okay,
It's so
do it.
cozy.
Nice.
yeah.
Let's go. When we last left off, 2 of our heroes switched bodies. Beery and Halloweth drinking from the spirits, I guess we'll call it, the
From the
bottle.
spirits.
Yeah, but also kind of the beverage that Beery stole from Radagast, found themselves looking at themselves from the perspective of the other, but through a number of incredible roles and roleplay moments, managed to create probably one of the most heartwarming moments of the entire campaign. So hats off to the 3 of you for doing that. And hats off to Charlotte for not figuring it out, but also rolling with the punches on that one, because it could have gone very differently.
Sure could have, Don. Sure could have.
It was towards the end of that session, though, that you all, after about a week of travel out of Mirkwood and through the plains towards the east emlet of Rohan, that you came upon a caravan of thousands of people. A rider met you, desperate for news and supplies and help. And Tariel, in all of the goodness of your heart, you sent riders to grab the remaining forces of your army and bring back as many supplies as possibly could be had. And the rest of you were ushered into this caravan. We will pick up from there, and I want to sort of walk you through what you see as you are brought, because this man on a horse left and then came back and said, "Follow me." And as you're brought to this caravan, you notice that it is thousands and thousands of people of all walks of life. The elves would notice that there are Easterlings and men from and women from the south, small children. You would also recognize, the elves would at least, people who are wearing gear that remind you of the Corsairs of Umbar, whom you have previously had contact with. It's a lot of elderly, it's a lot of men, it's a lot of women, it's a lot of children. It would be an eclectic group were it not for the rags that they are wearing, how thin some of them look. Some of the elderly are being pushed into carts. And while you are sort of walking through the sort of makeshift camps and tents, the smell of cook fires around every which way you look, a number of smells hit your nose. There is roasting meat. There is the smell of human waste. There is the smell of old clothes, people that haven't maybe bathed in many days, if not weeks. It's a pungent, almost overwhelming sense. The fires tend to sort of stick to the clothes, and everyone around you starts staring in, out. Just a quick glance, almost as if to like, what are they doing here? And looks away. And this goes on for about 5 minutes until you're brought to, I don't want to say the center, but closer to the inside of this enormous makeshift caravan, to a rather large tent. The Gondorian reappears and says, there are people, leaders of the various groups that you would perhaps want to speak with to gain information. My lady, Taria, was it?
Yes.
How soon would help arrive?
Elven steeds are swift. But even so, I think we must prepare to wait at least 3 or 4 days for my people to return.
We will hold.
What provisions do you have now?
He kind of musters up a little bit. Enough.
It will have to be.
We will hold out. We have made it this far. Forgive me. I am Arvigil. I hesitate to give myself this role, though it seems not self-given. The leader of this group of many.
Arvigil, you seem a fine leader. Have you sent out hunting parties?
Yes, but food is scarce in the plains. It seems any of the prey that we would eat has been driven from these lands. We have not seen many animals for weeks.
Well, that's because you're looking with human eyes. And she turns to a couple of her people and summons them forward and says, maybe it's like 3 elves.
Yeah.
She says, take these of my folk with you, and perhaps their eyes can better avail you in your hunt.
You are most kind, my lady. I shall fetch the scouts at once. The folk you wish to speak with, the Gondorian, the Lady Tennell asked for, will be arriving shortly. There are conflicting feelings with so many groups together here.
In what manner?
He looks over at you, Tennell, and kind of looks down at his feet. Relations between the Gondorians and those of the South and East have not been kind. We and they. It has been wars for many years in all but name. Skirmishes here or there. A raiding party here from the south. A small troop to the east with a mumakil. Oilefants, excuse me. Are you aware of such creatures? Have you seen one before?
Quick aside, we've seen a dead one.
You've seen a dead one, yes.
Yep. Okay. Tennell just say, Yes, I am aware of what they are.
There is one in this camp, in fact. Well, there was.
Max, I saw that smile.
And the frown
A
immediately
brief
after he found
moment.
out it was dead. I'm sorry to ruin
So
that,
sorry.
buddy.
I caught it at the like last second.
Oh boy, we're gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
They built him up to just crush
That was a
him back
roller
down.
coaster ride,
That was a
Johnny.
roller coaster.
Wow.
Sorry, bud. They eat so much food, and there's not much in the plains of Rohan for a herbivore
Oh God.
of that size, at least. All right.
Yeah, speaking of which, what
Mhm.
is the terrain like around us? Is there
You
any
are
vegetation? Is there anything that they could forage for?
fully in the east emlet of Rohan, and it is mostly plains and hills. Rohan's main source of food and supplies come from farming and the various rivers that run through it, whether that's fishing or trapping or whatever. There are small forests that pop up here and there, but it's almost like that patch of woods that then got cleared for farmland, and that little bit of woods is all that remains after that. It's a lot of that. It's very few and far between.
Dang.
Arvigil leaves the tent, and about 2 or 3 minutes later, a gentleman enters the tent. And before you stands an old human warrior, bent with age. He's wearing an eye patch over his left eye, and you all notice there are just scars all over his face, and he's wearing steel armor. The armor is like super dented, and the cloth of the tabard is frayed. The leather straps that are like barely holding it together, they are seeming to just like wear away. This is the definition of like an old man in a young man's profession. And he stands up, stock still in front of you. I am Damrod, captain of the 3rd level of the great city of Minas Tirith in the realm of Gondor. I was asked to give you news, though I fear it has been many years since we have had dealing with elven folk such as yourselves. And he looks down at you, Beery, and says, forgive me. They did not tell me a dwarf was in the party.
I mean, I hope it's not a problem.
No, of course not. We may have good use of your... It is said that the dwarves are welcome to our camp, Master Dwarf.
Oh, well, now this is the reception I've been looking for this entire time. This is great. Hello, I'm Barry.
Damrod. And he catches himself because he's already introduced himself, and you can tell that this guy is used to something very different than what he is presenting himself as right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not too much to ask before we begin, what news of the Northern Realms? We seek the lost city of Rivendell.
It still stands, but the exact nature of it we do not know. It's been months since we've had contact directly. The rest of the realms, there is little hope for them.
Well, there is always hope. And he kind of stiffens up. I know that's 6 HP off the final boss. I don't care. That was a good line. That was a good line.
It worked.
It worked.
Mhm.
It worked. Damrod listens to your news, and you can kind of tell just by his posture, right?
Mhm. Tanel, too, is withholding a little bit from him,
Mm-hmm.
just because she doesn't know the status of everything else.
Totally fair. Elves. Actually, yes, all of you can make insight checks for me. I'll ask all of you to make
Lovely.
insight checks for me.
I love it.
I mean, we've been spilling our
Me-
guts
me
to
too.
everybody
Yeah.
for once. Let's hold back a little bit.
I have Sauron.
Okay.
Ooh.
Great. I'm not good either.
Oh, good. 24.
Ooh.
Oh,
oof.
Dory.
Oh,
Whoa.
got really high. 11, 2 5s, and a 3.
Okay.
I actually beat my target number by 1.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, I've only got. I only have one. Jeez. I didn't do it.
That's okay.
I have no
So
insight.
very emblematic of the conversation that just happened. Tanel, you would clock that almost immediately these people are making for Rivendell, but they are heading east.
Mm.
And it is around the point that you have this realization that Damrod straightens up again and says, "What news do you wish to know?"
We have many questions, and I understand that your answers may be grim. We are prepared for that, so do not withhold to spare our feelings.
With all due respect, my lady, I have only the word of the man who just stepped outside the tent that you are trustworthy. Are you true of heart? Not servants of the enemy?
Absolutely not.
Can you prove it?
I actually pull out King's Shadow
Okay.
and stick it in the ground.
Okay.
Can I pull out Aglos as well, which might help?
You may.
Hello, I'm Halworth of Lorien and formerly Gondolin. It's about as anti-enemy as you can get, really.
Hang on. Got to make a lore check for this Captain of Gondor real quick.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, he probably
Just
doesn't.
Yeah.
his history.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, is he up in his history? He's from God. They have their libraries. If he hasn't even like poked his head into this vast library, then he's a
Good enough. That is a 17, and he's at least been to the library once. Damrod looks at the three of you and goes, "Weapons of ancient days. Yes?"
And crafted by Halbarad of the Dunedain.
The
Who knew?
word Dunedain has
Or
a
Dunedain.
very serious effect on him.
We had crossed paths, and he was supposed to be heading south with reinforcements. And that is my first question. Did they arrive?
We have not heard news from our northern kin in many, many years, my lady. I am sorry.
Tanel is physically taken aback by that. Like she has a physical reaction.
Okay.
Can I ask if any other elven folk have made their way through?
We have seen or heard no news of elven folk. You are the first we have seen. You are the first I have seen in my lifetime, let alone traveling through these lands. Though there was news, rumors of elves riding on horseback south.
Those will be the ones.
I confess I know no more than that.
Where did you hear this rumor from?
There are thousands of people in this caravan who have joined us at any given point. I could not tell you who told me or who told them. Word travels like wildfire and goes out as quickly as a match.
Very well.
And what of Gondor?
He sighs real deep, and you watch just his face fall, and he takes a second to kind of compose himself.
Are we in the tent?
Yes.
Is there any refreshment, wine?
I'd
anything?
say they brought you some water. Yeah, there's
Okay.
there's some glasses. Of
I
water.
just hand it to him as he's
No.
about to start his tale.
He takes it, and you see his hands start to shake ever so slightly. And he says, "It is Lord Faramir that now rules in his father's stead. Many months ago, on learning of the death of his son Boromir, Lord Denethor, who is wisest in law, strove with the Dark Lord in a lofty chamber, it is said, in a high tower of the citadel." Takes a big gulp of the drink and I did not see it myself, but at night it is said that a green light could be seen coming from the windows. But one day, it seems as though evil won out. For Lord Denethor threw himself from the citadel. He is laid now to rest in the Hallows, in the house of the steward, on the shoulder of the 4th level. I saw to the burial myself, with my brethren. A great stone that gave him clear vision of the world, they say, is buried alongside him. Scouts have brought us news from beyond our column here, but when Orodruin spread its fire and ash, we were met at once with a great host. Faramir, Prince Imrahil, many valiant men, they fought bravely, I among them. We drove back the enemy from Ithilien, but we were overrun. We prepared to make a last stand in Osgiliath. We managed to hold back their forces. We hoped forces from the south could flank them. Forces from Lebanon, forgive me, that is a Gondorian city in the south. My heart nearly gave way when I saw my brethren flying the sails of the Corsairs of Umbar alongside them. But it seems some may have had a change of heart. Faramir and many of the other high lords, they had a council and bade anyone that could to make for refuge in Rohan and then, if possible, to Rivendell. And despite the danger, we did so. Another big gulp of the water, and you can see he's kind of starting to lose his composure a little bit, that he has tried to, maintain that soldierly way. I was one of the few guards with wife and child. So Lord Faramir, in his infinite wisdom, commanded me to go with this column and protect my family and the others on this journey. That I have done for many weeks now.
Are there still who remain in Gondor, or did they all flee? Forgive me, I am not familiar with the city you mentioned.
It is a many-tiered city. 7 tiers there are. And it is a stronghold that can hold fast for many months, years even, stores and supplies for a vast army, though our numbers are less than it was in great days. But we are those that they would seek to protect, yet in the city, we would not be safe. And we fear that the gates of Gondor may have been breached. Our scouts are less than trustworthy in this, though. Some of them seem to be Easterlings. We met them along the road, not a few days into our journey. I thought there would be bloodshed, but they approached with tokens of peace and have been well-mannered since. It is strange.
Well, there is a greater enemy, is there not?
There is, and yet they were those that served the previous enemy. Savages, I used to call them, but now the world has changed. I feel it in my bones. Yeah, I know. That's another 6 hours.
Close.
I don't care.
I was wondering if you're going to go into the full.
I was worth
Are
it.
you?
It was worth it.
Charlie is not impressed.
All right.
We had heard word of some dealings in Mordor, that the Black Gate may not be as impenetrable as it once was. Do you know anything of this?
Personally, no. I have not seen the Black Gate in many, many years. Not since I was a scout. But the Easterling, Kiktar, may be able to provide you some information. Shall I fetch Kiktar?
Yes, please.
I confess I have no other information to tell you, but...
No, you've given us plenty. Thank you. I regret that we had to ask you to recount the tale.
Nods a little more, and you watch as this old man clutching this water seems to fall into some sort of daze, as if he has not actually thought about or told this story in many weeks. And it's like telling a story that was very traumatic for the first time to people that don't know about it, you kind of realize just how messed up it was. That's what this guy is seeing right now. No insight checks required.
You mean every time we have had to tell anyone
Yes, I
what's
do.
happened?
Yes, I do.
This is like reliving your trauma, the game. Like,
Yeah. What news? Oh God. Okay.
It's not good. It's never good. So
Sauron's a cat. Sauron's a bird. Thranduil. Never mind. Anyway, after a few moments, though, you do see him kind of shake out of this trance. Forgive me. I shall fetch the Easterling. Yes.
Yes, please.
A pleasure to meet you all, and safe travels on your journey to... Realizing he didn't actually ask you any questions, as if he's sort of self-centered, kind of starts muttering to himself or stuttering. It's like, forgive me, and like sort of walks out of the tent. And a couple of minutes later, someone else approaches your tent. The woman that walks in is an olive-skinned woman with long dark hair that has sort of been tied up into a messy bun, fairly short, only about 5'3", 5'4". And she looks right at you, Barry. And she says, "Huh, that's new. You a short man?"
Well, I'm actually pretty tall for my kind. Back at home, I'm actually a dwarf and proud of it.
Fascinating. And you notice she's kind of talking through her teeth now and enunciating a lot of the words. She looks up at the other three of you and goes, "Elves and dwarves. What has that old man gotten me into? Forgive me. Your tongue is new to my lips. I may not have the words you need. In your tongue, I am called Kiktar of the Wainrider Easterlings. Damrod said you have need of knowledge. What do you wish to know?"
I know that the Dark Lord has armies of the south.
Not
and
you,
wish-
love. I want to hear it from the dwarf.
God.
I didn't realize Easterling stood for East Londonlings.
Yeah, I did fall into that a little bit with the accent. I'll try and make it a
Tanel's
little more distinct.
Tanel's jaw sets, and she actually like looks at Tanel, like, or looks at Toriel, like,
Yeah.
Toriel she looks somewhere between shocked and impressed. She's also not really accustomed to being written off in this way, at least not by another woman.
Exactly.
Who is this bitch, and can I make out with her? Like, what's...
No, that remains to be seen, darling. Anyway.
So is her, like, is she speaking through her teeth, or is her jaw seem clenched? Does she seem...
It seems clenched. It seems as though the in the same way that like some Americans have trouble speaking Asian languages, it's not native to her mouth, the throat, the mouth. It feels wrong almost in her mouth. You would kind of get that sense, and she is trying to speak the common tongue, but is not necessarily having the easiest time.
He's like, "Oh yeah, well, first of all, my name is Beery. It's a pleasure to meet you. These are my friends. We have traveled from the north and all across this landscape on a great adventure. And here we are on our way to Gondor. Turns out it's all, it's all upside down. You're all out here. You're from the east, I'm hearing."
Yes.
"Well, I'm from Erebor. So, yes, you asked me a question. I'm trying to remember what it was."
I have a question for you, Phil.
Oh, yes.
What's Erebor?
Oh, it is truly tremendous. Roaring fires, malt beer, red meat off the bone. It is a glorious place full of mines, commerce, and anything you could imagine. It's there.
You know I gotta say it, right? You know I gotta say it. Because that's an extra 6 HP to the
Dang
final
it.
boss.
Oh, yeah. It's
How
okay.
am I not supposed to do that?
I didn't have the self-control earlier, and now neither do you.
Yep.
It's that kind of
Yes.
session.
It is that kind of session.
A glorious place. I left on my own accord entirely, and I met up with these elves, and we're here to save the world. In many less words.
The elves, and I guess Beer, you would all notice there is a small sort of she kind of catches herself and laughs, gives a little hearty chuckle that tries to suppress. Forgive me. May your homeland see peace and prosperity. And she gives a quick little bow, almost as if this is some sort of ceremonial thing to say to strangers.
Oh, yeah, he like Beery panics a little bit, and like, pulls like a little like tack hammer from his belt and kind of covers over his heart and bows very ceremoniously as well.
As you pull it out, she grabs the dagger as well, and as soon as she sees what you're doing, very slowly puts it back into her sheath.
How nice was that dagger?
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
Actually, no, make an awareness check. This will be an
Bonding over
awareness.
weapons.
Well, she might, I don't know. She might be more than who she lets on. That was a journey. Oh, terrible.
Tough to see. She kept it pretty close to the sheath when she pulled it out, like ready to strike, but very quickly put it back.
Well, we were on our way to Rohan, a lovely place full of like planes and horses. I've never been there. I've actually been not really anywhere, but we were gonna go there, and then we're headed to Gondor. But apparently all these places are just in tatters.
Damrod said you had questions for me.
What have you seen of those two places that I have mentioned?
Which two places did you mention? I wasn't listening.
Rohan?
This is becoming
Gondor.
more than Tariel can stand at this point. The flagrant disrespect. So she steps in, physically interposes herself between Beery and this
As Tariel does
wretched
so,
woman.
he's gonna give her a little bit of the hand. Just like maybe somewhere like on her arm, just try to like, I got this. And just like locked eyes with the new person.
Oh yeah, she's looking at you.
Tariel just sort of makes a noise in the
There's a quick flick of the eyes to the elf that got up and back at you, Barry. Very well. I can't tell you anything about Gondor or Rohan. But I
And
can
why
tell you.
Yinye, it doesn't sound like you're very knowledgeable about much of anything that's useful.
It's Tariel's turn to go.
Prove me wrong, as like she kind of interjects.
Yeah.
And
Go
then she
ahead
steps back.
Yeah.
Watches the rest. This is good. This is
Go
fine.
ahead and make a persuasion check for me, Beery.
Oh, Beery. Okay. Persuasion. Oh.
I'm convinced you've maxed out and just decided not to tell me, but I respect it.
It's not maxed.
But it's close, right?
Mhm.
Five. Five.
I would like to know what
Probably.
Halloweth is doing this whole time.
He's kind of letting Barry take the lead. He hasn't really had much. He's just stood there pondering, thinking. This is the first time he's seen this. He's never seen Easterlings even remotely friendly.
As is
I don't think. I
usual.
don't. Would he have seen Easterlings at all? Have Easterlings ever really?
You'd
come
have
up this way
probably
before?
fought with Easterlings before, once or
With
twice,
or
but
against?
against, certainly against.
Beery's completely unaware of the cultural tension.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's starting to pick up on that, there is tension. It's a little more forceful with a 20.
With a 20 persuasion. With a 20 persuasion, the Easterling Kiktar looks down at the ground, up at you, flashes a big smile and goes, I'm told that this is what you do when you mean no harm to others, and gives that big smile again. Very well.
God.
I was in Mordor when the Great Tower collapsed.
See, now we're talking. Yeah, what about that?
What do you know of the Great Shadow? The one that flies through the land in the shape of a bird.
Well, I saw it before it changed in Rivendell.
Her
After
eyes go
that-
wide at that. Her eyes go wide at that.
Yeah, well, he adjusts his like apron a little bit. As I was saying, yeah, met him. It was pretty amazing to see a real big bird. Never really liked birds very much. Strange. They just, anyways, yeah, we were in Rivendell, and I saw it, and then I haven't seen it since. Obviously, oh no, we did. Oh gosh, is it? Tell me about this giant bird. Is it flaming? Is it real big?
Enormous. The explosion shook the foundations of the very earth we stood on. The tower fell. The mountains spewed forth smoke. And you see her kind of get lost in the telling of this story behind her own eyes. We ran. But the gate of and she struggles for a second to find the word Mordor.
The Black Gate.
Mordor, you called it, yes. The gate of Mordor, the rocks spewed forth, destroyed it. It's on hinges. But it did allow many of my sisters and I to escape. Many. And she sort of falls back into this sort of trance-like state, but not all escaped. When the ash settled, this fiery bird circled the land. Have you ever been to Mordor? Have you ever seen the fertile lands of the south and the east?
But I'm planning on it.
Much of the land used to be fertile. It was farmland, tilled to feed great armies such as ours. But my army is no longer in there. We are here.
So when you fled, did anyone stay behind, or is it vacant?
I cannot say. Those who stayed, those who died, it is unclear. My kin in this caravan are warriors. My shield sisters and I numbered 5,000 strong when we marched through that gate all those years ago, but I think maybe 3,000 remain. Not all will fight. Some are injured, some want to return home, some see no profit in fighting. Why would we help the sworn enemy of Gondor, who would do nothing but treat us like savages, refusing our trade, ignoring our pleas? Tell me, where was Gondor when the great disease swept through our lands? When I was but a child. And yes, I do know that's an extra 6 HP to the final boss. I wrote
Thank
these,
you.
I don't care.
Okay.
We see no profit in aiding you. If the bird is victorious, we shall serve it. If it seeks to destroy us, we shall simply outrun it. What is yet a new master to serve?
The time for all of this infighting, where borders were once were, that are now shattered. It's time to lay our differences aside and unite.
Make a persuasion check for me, Beery.
'24.
24. With a 24, Piktar looks at you for a second and says, Dwarf, in my land we've a saying, be not tied to a corpse in the deep sea. It seems some of my people have chosen both sides. We shall see which is the corpse. And she very quickly stands up, slaps the chair she's on, says, right. If there are no other questions, I shall take my leave.
Wait,
How much?
No.
No,
it
you go
seems
ahead.
My attention is warranted.
I heard from Damrod that you caught sight of two elves on horseback roaming through either Rohan or Gondor.
No, that was the Corsairs. I can send them in if you'd like. I've not seen any.
Very well.
Make an insight check, Halloweth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit.
Beery just kind of gives like a look to like Tennell, just like, oh my god, she's intense.
You're telling me.
21.
21. Yeah, she's not being entirely truthful to you.
Okay. Oh, I didn't really want to do this, but the king's fear is out and at her neck before she can even move. I don't like to be lied to.
Halloweth, make an awareness check.
Also, Beery's eyes are keen on that dagger now that he knows where it is.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
bet it is.
Yeah, and both of Tariel's knives are in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a Gandalf with 2 6s.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Hang on.
Whoa. What did you do? What did you
No.
Also rolled a Gandalf
Oh,
with a
Okay.
4, a 4, and a 3. Okay,
Oh,
but the
man.
2 6s. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've got a Gandalf, 2 6s and a 3.
Okay. Here's what I will say happens. Tariel, Tennell, and Beery. Quick as a flash, Halloweth is up. Knife to her throat. But a half second later, you also notice that there is a dagger at Halloweth's belly. And Kiktar gives a quick smile. I had a feeling you were the feisty one. Yes, I know about the elves, but I heard it from the Corsairs. Are you asking about the 2 elves on horseback or the 1 elven lady?
Ideally, both.
I only saw the 2 elven men, and they rode through here many, many weeks ago.
Where were they headed?
That I cannot say. And she seems honest in this point.
Okay.
But they rode south,
Past Rohan into Gondor.
past Rohan into Gondor, yes.
So that'll be Minas Tirith or Osgiliath. Okay.
I said they were traveling south, not east. Yes, I know the geography of your world.
Well, directly south of us would be Minas Tirith, right? If we're in the plains of Rohan.
Yes, but from Rohan, for where the Easterlings were traveling to get to this caravan, south from where the mountains were, would get you closer to the White Mountains. If they were traveling east, they would get to Minas Tirith.
Oh God, what's even in there? Is that the freaking path of the dead? I swear to God, I don't want to go there.
All right. The Kiktar still has a knife to your belly,
Okay.
but she's smiling.
Yeah, I say, okay, fetch the Corsairs. I want to hear about this elven lady, if you know nothing more.
I know nothing more.
Then fetch them.
You first.
And he's got a sort of knife in reverse grip right now.
Mhm.
He sort of flicks it round and shoots it and steps away.
She does the exact
and
same
almost
thing.
almost mock bows, but his eyes don't leave her.
She's going to match your bow as she gives a quick flourish, puts the sheath in, bows low. Until we meet again, my lords and ladies. Beery, and gives a very pointed glance to you, Beery, and nods, and backs out of the tent without breaking eye contact.
As soon as she leaves and like the tent flaps close, she's just gonna look at the others like, whoa. I mean, if that's any indication of what's coming out of Mordor, dear me. That was a lot.
Tariel is gobsmacked, shell shocked, fully just turns to the others and says, "What just happened?"
I have no idea. I mean, like, oddly unpleasant, but alluring in some way. That was very strange. Not that kind of alluring. Don't give me that look. She's completely not my type. Trust me.
I mean, Tariel seems to be considered like, well, she wasn't none. She realizes her daggers are still out. She puts those away.
I don't know. She's all incantation and no magic.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Turn of phrase, Howard.
Mm.
Okay. You know what? Oh.
Well,
Write that down.
Yeah, seriously. I'm gonna
Mhm.
borrow that for later. Okay.
So we've learned some things.
Mhm.
Tanel just like through gritted teeth and like a set jaw, she says, "Well, at least we know the creature's intel was correct. However horrifying that revelation is."
Also, we haven't had any chance really to process what we've heard about Gondor and Faramir. Like, this was, oh my God, this was a lot.
This is a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah. If
So I'm still processing what the bloody.
Okay, how much time has passed? Like, what's is there
That's-
anything going on out in the camp right now?
It's been a few minutes since the Easterling left.
I'm writing notes, sorry.
No, that's fine. Take your time.
I'm
Feel
just
free
trying
to.
to figure out what the hell to do next.
Just keep in mind, you do still have someone that is supposedly coming to your tent, as far
Yeah.
as you're aware.
What's the
I'm
inside of
looking
this
at
tent look like?
notes.
The tent is pretty sparse. I mean, it's bigger than the ones you saw, but that's because, as far as you can tell, you're in some sort of, meeting hall tent that several people can fit in, rather than just like a family on the run. This seems to be a place of not necessarily honor, but of a little bit more import than the rest.
For sure. And we didn't hear much from Rohan, but primarily information about Gondor.
Yes, you spoke to a Gondorian and an
Yeah.
Easterling. The guy from Rohan you heard from last episode basically gave you the recap that you knew about how Grima is now king, and Eomer supposedly attacked Theoden in anger, and Eowyn is, all of that.
And it didn't sound like, and I may be inferring here, it didn't sound like Gondor knew much of what else was happening.
The Gondorian did not seem aware. I would say without an awareness check or anything.
Right. Yeah.
You would probably, without an insight check needed, you would probably realize the Gondorian that spoke to you, he's an old dude, and they left for safety pretty quickly because they realized that, Minas Tirith may be overrun in the next few days, weeks, months. It was unclear, but they got out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay.
And to the others, and the Dunedain, they never made it. Where are they?
I
I
worry that they've taken a path to Harrowdale and Dimholt.
I don't know if it's my
Beery.
blank expression letting you
Yeah.
know, but I don't know where that is.
No lore check needed, Beery. You don't understand any of that. Tariel, Tanel, you make a lore check for me, both of you. As Halloweth,
Oh.
you would certainly know.
It's the quickest way to Gondor via Rohan.
Oh, a Gandalf.
Oh, big
No,
surprise.
I
Tim.
don't know. I'm
Okay.
at a 13. I'm just
Okay.
short.
So it would now be up to Tanel. It would come to your mind that there is a path to Gondor, or sorry, Zach, maybe you can explain this a little bit better than a roll would require if you want to.
Yeah, it's the path through the White Mountains, essentially. There's a long zigzagging stair, not really a stair, a zigzagging path all the way up to I think that's Harrowdale. I think that's where Harrowdale is, the sort of area there. And through there is Dimholt, which is the path through the mountain where the King of the Dead dwells. The oath that, or the curse that Isildur placed upon the men who did not aid the call of his banner.
Halloweth, as you are explaining this, the tents flip open, and in walks a woman with weathered skin, not saggy, but tough and coarse. And she looks almost like a female version of Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Good morning, masters. Captain Sangaya, Queen of the Corsairs of Umbar. Good day. I have been summoned by the High Lord of the Easterlings, who are all of you.
Really
Just
channeling
gives
your
like-
Jeffrey Rush here, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're damn right I am, boy.
Oh, Beery just gives Halloweth a little, because now we're kind of next to each other after that confrontation. Give him a little bump forward. Just
Oh, for God's okay. Hello, Captain. We are in need of your aid and memory. It was said that you saw an elven woman at some point riding south. Can you give us any indication of her fate?
Yes, I could. Silence.
He's gonna, He's gonna freaking Paris. He's gonna. Does he? What money does he have on him? Does he have? Does he
do
have
we have
gold-
money?
a gold piece? Do we have money?
Is there money
No.
in this world?
There is money in this world. The hobbits have pennies and silvers, and Rohan has gold, and so does Gondor. But the elves are, I mean, basically communists at that point.
He's
What
gonna.
to
He's gonna
say?
like. He's gonna to Barry. He's gonna go like something.
does Beery have any coin on him?
I will say yes. I'll
Yeah.
allow this just for the sake of both comedic effect and practicality.
Yeah.
Beer, you'd probably you haven't had need of it in months, but
Was that a big, beautiful golden coin? And very
for
reluctant.
those listening on the podcast,
Where did that come
Max,
from?
what the hell is that? What did you just pull out?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't remember how I got on my desk, but yeah, just an iron fitting. I can't remember what it was for.
It's like, for those listening on the audio only portion, it's like a giant washer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like the size of the one ring on Sauron's finger. That thing is huge, dude.
Yeah.
I know I could like almost fit on my pinky. Yeah.
Oh my.
Holy
Well, that's
cow.
not fair. Your hands are the size of dinner plates, man, and they're that thick too. Like Tanel and Halloweth are both thick. Tanel being thicker given the athletics check, but like your hands, couple
Yeah.
C's in there.
Yeah. There's
Oh my
some
God.
season, but yeah, very reluctantly, just almost, there's almost like golden wire.
I do like it
construed it as
when
he drops
fantasy
it.
things just cost money. Like you can you can ping down a gold coin anywhere and be like, I'd like a night for the inn, I'd like a mug of ale and a stable for my horse. Keep the change. It's just a gold coin.
That's our new
That's it.
quest: is get money. The quest for money.
Yeah, it
Mm.
costs
Ariel-
money.
Tariel scoffs. She's scoffing. She is a scoff.
She is a
Because-
scoff.
This is not to be borne. We're paying for what should be freely given. This is the commie is incensed into silence.
The commie
Also, to be
Tariel
fair-
or the commie Charlotte?
Both.
Both.
Sorry, Zach, go ahead.
He's gonna take the coin from Barry and just flick it quickly. It's gonna come fast.
Max, does Beery have any reaction on that?
Yeah, I just follow it as it goes by.
Grabs it out of the air, bites down on it, playing into every pirate stereotype ever. Says,
Ruder and ruder.
What do you all know of the world south of the White Mountains? Elves? Dwarves? What do you all know of the Pukelmen that raid our villages? Of the levies that we were forced to pay the kings of old when our strength was but a fraction of this?
Very little, evidently.
So it would seem. Yes. One of my men saw a dark-haired elf riding on a brown horse south. You understand that this information did not come from me, yes?
Who did it come from?
From my man, I just told you.
Okay. Riding south, that's, forgive me, but vague. Any other clue as to where she might have been going?
Does it look as though I keep tabs on every elf that moves from here to the White Mountains, to the seas of the south? I've been a bit busy keeping track of all of my kindred who have been stranded here.
From what I gathered from everyone here, elves are a rare sight down south. I assumed it would be noteworthy.
Yours are the first elven ears I've seen in my lifetime.
There you go. And this female elf on a brown horse didn't capture your attention the same way I am?
She did not stay long enough for my attention to be captured. And remember, I was not there. I heard this from my men. You really should get those pointed ears checked, elf.
Beery
man
peeks
who's-
from behind
Mm.
Alwa. How dare you?
Ah! There's a quick yell as Sangaya clearly did not notice you and goes, my God, a short man. What is this?
I'm actually a fairly tall dwarf, all right?
So the legends are true.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Pointed ears, dwarves. Who are you?
Well, I'm Beery. I'm not trying to interject here, but
You've already done that.
do not insult my friend like that ever again.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Hands on his hips. Oh, okay. $22.
With a 22. With a 22, Sangaya looks at you pointedly and says, my apologies.
Yeah, that's much better. So south from where? Yeah, this. All right. So this elf that you're talking about is very important. We really need to know where she's at, or where she was going, and this and that.
As I explained to your friend not a moment ago, one of my men saw her riding south on a brown horse. I can tell you no more than that.
That's
And
all
what of
you
your
got.
men?
Mm-hmm.
Where are your men?
Scattered about the camp. Would you like to go find them each individually and interrogate them?
A captain doesn't know where their men are.
Captain is only as good as the ship she rides in. And as you can see, and she gestures broadly around the tent, I have no ship. And so I am nothing. I am nothing.
And I am tired of you.
She gives a quick smile. Yes, I thought you might be. But the prejudices of the past do not seem to escape those of elven blood either. Do you think it is possible that I am just a woman making her way in the world with those that would follow her?
Tariel considers this. Tariel, who's not had much opportunity to say anything in the last few minutes. And whence would you without your ship after this?
She gives a long sigh, a quick moment. Are you trying to recruit me? Because even if I could convince my people to fight for you, what's in it for us?
Have you so little value in your own lives? Do even you know how unimportant you are?
Her eyes go wide and she leans in real close to you. And quick as a flash, she pulls a dagger out of her sheath, cuts her own palm and sheathes the blade, and holds it up to you and smears it across her face. The Numenorian blood runs strong in my veins, just the same as the Gondorians of this caravan. Does it occur to your immortal mind that perhaps my kin were just on the losing side of a civil war when no one was truly evil? Black Numenorians, they used to call us. Though our skin tones may be of all different color, they deemed all of our hearts evil. Do you think it is possible, and she smears the blood on the other side of her face, that the children of those who swore fealty to Morgoth repent of their ancestors' faults and now seek a new life for themselves? Lives of comfort, lives of privilege, lives of power that have been withheld from those that stand atop the lofty stone towers and think themselves tall. I know the deep lore of this land. I know what my people lost, and I shall fight to my dying breath to see my people out from under the thumb of the likes of you, of Gondor, or any bird that might seek to entrap us. She quick makes a fist, and the blood comes pouring down her wrist onto her forearm. Tariel, you giving a slow clap right now?
She gives a slow clap. Bold words and many for one who says so little of substance. By Asa, will you kill the eagle and be gone? Are you with this quest, or are you with yourself?
You would invoke the Valar to me, elf?
I speak the language of the Valar.
She responds in Elvish, as do I.
Is that in Quenya?
That is in Sindarin.
Okay. In Cinderin, Tariel replies, "Your accent's a little off."
She gives a big smile and backs off, just kind of taking a step back.
Oh, I feel I feel like we could all just take a real deep breath and just settle down a bit.
Do you have wine?
Tariel just does one of these little snappy numbers. And one of her elf sentries standing just outside. There's a little shadow that passes as the elf walks by the outside of the tent and then comes back in with a big old pitcher of wine. Because you don't travel
yes.
without your wine.
I don't know if it
Yes.
would be a pitcher, but it would certainly
You know
be
what I mean?
yeah. I don't know if it would be a pitcher.
Wineskin.
A vessel.
Yes, a wineskin
Hang on.
appears in your hands. Oh, hang on.
She's getting a Boda bag.
Oh my God, you've
Perfect.
got
We
a
got
cup.
props.
I got a skull and some dragons. Okay.
For those listening
Nice.
on the podcast, Charlotte has produced from her bookshelf on
So
over her
cool.
right shoulder a really cool goblet with a silver top and a skull and dragons on either side of the skull. It is very
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Wine.
The Corsair looks incredulously at the elf that has barged into this meeting and looks around and watches as the wineskin is held to you, because this elf, who has clearly been listening the whole time, starts handing you the wineskin and walks back out. And she looks at you, and Sengaya goes, "Oh, you must teach me that trick."
Live another 500 years and maybe I will.
I like her. Very well. Have we made friends enough to be offered some? And holds out a very empty glass that he pulled off of the side of the table.
Are there more glasses?
There are a few more glasses on this table, yes.
Tariel pours the wine herself.
The wine is poured, and the 5 of you have drinks in your hand. The Corsair Sangaya says, "A toast to new adventures."
What are you drinking, Don?
Me personally?
Yeah, I saw something. I was like,
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
a
more-
bourbon.
is that-
It's a bourbon lemonade.
I knew
Nice.
it'd be better
Oh,
something.
fancy. I don't have any. I gotta get a drink. I don't have a drink with me right now.
I mean, we've
Mine's
still-
water.
Yeah.
Last
I
week
had
it was
water, it's
gin,
gone, I
so-
need to-
All
We'll
right.
pretend. We'll
All right.
pretend.
With that toast, I will say we will take our 5-minute break from there and let everybody
Excellent.
reconvene. Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you all so much. We're going to take our break there. See you all in a moment. And welcome back. When we last left off, I gave about 45 minutes worth of exposition that our characters had absolutely no idea about until just now. It ended in a toast with the Corsair Lady Captain Sangaya drinking a little bit of wine that Tariel you had summoned. So she takes a long sip and says, Despite my misgivings, I seem to like you all. Call it intuition. Well done. What will you do from here? I'll see myself out if there's no other questions you may have for me.
Very well.
Sorry, we just got a lot of news. And it wasn't entirely good news. So pardon if we're a little bit I don't even know. I can't even think of a phrase. The wine sure is helping though. Thank you. That was a good idea.
Chaos is the phrase you're
Chaos.
looking for.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
How long
Oh.
has it been? For you, at least. That you've been dealing
Since what?
since you've been dealing with this? Weeks, months?
Dealing with what, elf maid?
The new Dark Lord. The invasions into your land as of recent.
She gives a quick pause. For us, for my ship, 2 months. Maybe 3. I've lost track of time. The days tend to run together. You lose your ship to animals ramming against it, and suddenly it puts things into perspective.
You mean to tell me that animals see like creatures of the deep ramming a ship?
Nature has turned against us, my good dwarf, yes.
I think nothing that would have attacked your ship would be rightly described as natural.
Too right you are, wine giver.
I have not introduced myself.
No,
I'm
none of you have. Quite
Tauriel,
discourteous.
commander of the forces of Mirkwood.
Pleasure.
Alueth of Lorien Wood.
No, of Lorien Wood.
And I'm Beery, and this here is Gorge from Erebor.
You planning to eat that thing?
No. And yeah, no, not at all.
Shame, really. Looks succulent. And Gorge
Okay,
gives a
all
quick.
right, and just kind of gets in her line of view, like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna talk about eating my best pal.
You're friends with this pig.
Yeah, been together for a long time. Yeah, he's good. He's a good pig.
Glances at the elves like, is he
Oh,
for
come
real?
now, Sangaya, in all of your years on the sea, surely you've been friends with some pigs in your day.
Your implications, elf, suggest insults.
I mean,
Takes a
only
sip
that
of her
I've met
drink.
men.
Men, women, what's the difference?
And now we come to it, I think.
Do we?
Do you see a difference between me and my kindred here? And she gestures to the other elves.
Pointy ears, strong jaws, good facial structure. No, I can't say I can tell much of a difference.
We all look the same to you?
No, of course not. Some of you are. Glances at you, Tanel. A bit more well endowed than others. Takes another long sip of her drink.
That roll is
Oh.
going to haunt me forever.
Yeah, it is.
This has upset Halworth more than any of the bad news he's heard today.
Oh my god.
How dare you besmirch the honor of my friend?
Individual endowments notwithstanding, would you think it's fair to say that most people of men would say that elves are of one kind?
She gives a long thought to this. Personally, my lady, I've not had much experience in dealing with your kind. Yours are the first I've met. The Southron may have different thought, but me, no.
Ah, the Southron, the Gondorian, the Rohirrim. And to us, in all of our centuries, the lot of you are moths in flame, fleeting beings, awkward, noisy, smelly, and yet not of a kind, no?
There's a deep breath she takes. We are all human, moths, amidst the ever-burning flame, quickly snuffed out.
And the flame is burning, my new friend. We must all be of one kind to fight it.
A look of shock crosses her face. Are we friends now?
Well, let us not be enemies while we drink together.
She ponders this for a second. It seems as though I can accomplish more with you than without you.
That's the hope.
She raises a glass. To friendship.
Hey, yeah, friendship. This is wonderful. Look at us. Look at us coming together.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well,
Shall I fetch the Southron?
If you would be so good.
I may.
Tariel pours her a little bit more wine.
You're a woman after my own heart, aren't you? Begins eyeing
I'm not-
you up and down.
Tariel pulls out one of her blades, sticks it in the table. And just starts idly twisting the blade, the point of the blade, into the wood. We'll see. Hearts are squishy things.
Yes. Especially squishy in your hands, no? Very well, very well. I'll go fetch the Southron. If you really, really must know all of the news in the world.
as soon as she departs, Bury looks to the others like, what is with this place?
They've had their entire lives and homes and lifestyle just uprooted. You can forgive
I
them
mean-
for being coarse.
You have a bit of a point.
Oh, did you just make a
Putting
coarse
the
pun on-
course and Corsair.
Oh.
Hey.
I was like, oh no, it's not landed at all. No,
No,
it
one's
landed.
reacting at all to this.
It has.
No, but
I'm
you
just-
can't immediately call it out. I was gonna let it ride, but well done. Well done.
That's an extra 50 HP to the. No, I'm.
Oh,
kidding.
What? Hey.
For a pun, it was good.
It was
I
pretty
appreciate
good.
it. If it was a really bad pun, I'd get it. But I was pretty
Yeah, that's
proud of
fair.
that.
It was good.
All right. You all have a few minutes to discuss as the Southron is fetched.
Tanil does say she's looking a little salty as all of this has been happening.
Just the
And she,
seawater.
yeah, it absolutely is. She does comment, their lives have been changed, but half of the grievances they have brought up are ancestral squabblings. It is frustrating.
Tariel sits back, looks at Tanel, and says one word. Feanor.
Charlotte, I would like you to add 1 dot to your lore checks and take a hope point. I do not care that you're a guest. Add it to your character sheet. Fucking brilliant. Hanel, you have a moment to respond. I apologize for interjecting.
She doesn't say anything and just sits there, just steaming.
Okay. So
Tariel sits back, nods, and drinks like that fucking guy.
holding his
I hate it,
little-
but
well, holding his little wine cup. All right. So if the next one is even more unpleasant than the last two, what are we gonna do? We need a game plan.
My
we're going
knife shall be already in my hand for a start. He's just gonna pick it up into like his sleeve there. Or
Yeah,
he's just
knife.
he's gonna hold it here, and then he's gonna sit back reclining. Almost.
Should we?
Knife in your belt, but holding it close to your body, just ready to go.
Should we at least tell them they're on the wrong side of the Misty Mountains, heading to Rivendell?
I mean, if they're this unpleasant, no, let them figure it out on their own. I know.
Yeah, let's see them
Wow.
try and climb Caradras.
That's cold.
I mean, there are several ways to get to Rivendell over the Misty Mountains, but good lord, that is.
There's a whole caravan just in the forest, and poor Thranduil's like, what the fuck is this?
But hey, they're hungry. Maybe they can find some of the slugs that wee one was catching.
Or maybe flubberworms are edible.
Oh.
No, they're not. They're very poisonous. You don't want to do that.
All right. After a few minutes of you all talking about this, a dark-skinned man walks into the tent, hand on sword, and you notice he's got a series of piercings all up the right side of his face and beige war paint on the left. The hair looks as though it has been almost like a military buzz cut, but it has been so long since he's been able to, it has since sort of grown out and is sort of like disheveled kind of all along his face. There are a couple of nose rings. The clothes look as though they were very ornate Gondorian, but a little bit more brightly colored than normal, long sort of like flowing sleeves. But you kind of get the sense that it's been so long on the road now that they are covered in dirt. And he walks in very brusquely, hand on his sword.
Is this a Drimmy or is this the Corsair?
Make a lore check.
Really?
Tanel, Tariel, you may as well.
Now that I've got an extra
enough.
lore point.
Yeah, look at
Mhm.
you.
Oh boy, my lore is ridiculous based on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
uh,
Actually, Beery, make a lore check as well. Sorry, Tanel, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I passed. We're good.
Passed.
Yeah.
I beat mine by 10.
I got to stop asking for
Jesus.
lore checks from you, Zach. It's not even fair anymore.
I get
Wow.
-1 on lore checks as well.
22.
22. Beery
22.
Looks like a dude. Looks like a guy.
looks like a dude. The three elves would recognize one of the Southrons of old. This is one of the Haradrim.
Drimmy.
He walks into the tent. And I want you to picture just in your mind, right? A guy, Christopher Judge, Kratos from God of War, a guy that used to be muscular, but is now more gaunt, a heavyweight boxer trying to aim for featherweight now because he's beaten everybody in his own ranks. He is someone that used to command strength and now no longer does. I have been summoned. I am Gubol, son Hamraum, fifth of my name, brother to 4 dead brothers. May they live in my heart. Who are all of you?
Tariel stands respectfully.
Eyes locked on you, Tariel.
She bows, not fully bows, but inclines her head. Says, I am Tariel, commander of the forces of Mirkwood.
I am Halueth of Lorien.
Head
No.
tilts again.
Tanel of Lorien.
Head tilts a third time.
Beery of Erebor.
I speak your tongue, though many of my kin here do not. I was told you may have information for me. Tell me everything you know.
I would like to maybe just do a quick, let me see what it would be. Would it be seeing what sort of check, what sort of thing I would like to.
What are you looking to do?
I'm looking to see if there's anything about this man that would tell me if he was the one who commanded the Muma kill.
Which Muma kill?
Any of them, I guess. But there was one, like there's the dead one, right?
There is
the one that was part of the camp.
There is the dead one. I don't necessarily know if you would be able to get that from an insight check.
Okay.
I would say without even needing a check, you would notice he seems to be strong and a leader and a commanding presence, but not necessarily anything beyond that.
He's not carrying anything on his person that indicates that he's like he rides an animal often, or
make an awareness check for me. Yeah, make an awareness check for me.
Okay. Let's do math now. 23.
With a 23, I would say you notice that the sword hilt that he is holding is made out of an ivory.
Okay. Is this guy's name Gubol?
Ghubol. Gubol. Sun. Ghubol. Sun. Hamraum. HAM apostrophe RA apostrophe UM.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
There was a table of cups. Yeah, Beery's gonna grab one and hold it for Tanel to fill and regard him as welcome. And I'm very, very sorry to about your brothers. And hands him the cup.
He, keeping his hand on his sword hilt, he grasps the cup, gives a quick sniff, and puts it to his lips. And just does a quick spit out.
Oh.
Your kindness is appreciated. Yes.
This is a rhetorical question, I guess. Tariel doesn't answer, but instead counters with a question of her own. Gubol, Sun Hamraum. Whom do you command?
I command many.
And do you ride the Mumakil?
Anyone that wants to can make an insight check.
Yes, please.
Sure, what the hell?
18.
Just tell me if you pass. Yeah, just
Passed.
like let me know. Passed.
Do not pass. Absolutely do not pass.
Passed. Barry. Okay. Tanel and Halloweth, you would notice that there is a quick twitch in his facial expressions, a kind of hesitation. And he looks up at you and says, "You know of the Mumakil."
I have lived long. I have seen them.
You are elves.
We are.
How long have you lived?
Well, I don't know how long Tariel has lived.
How would Tariel answer that?
Yeah. I'm thinking. Many centuries as you count them.
His eyes do go wide just a bit. In my lands, There are legends of people like you, the pointed-eared ones.
In my lands, there are legends of people like you. The dark ones who ride proud beasts.
The beasts may have yet taken their pride for themselves, and will bear no riders now.
Tariel gestures for him to sit.
Make a persuasion check for me.
She does not persuade.
He continues to stand.
In deference, she sits. What has changed?
I'll ask you to make another check. Make a persuasion check for me.
She does not persuade.
Please allow me. So how long has it been since your wonderful proud beast? I'm assuming it's the big, right? Boom, boom, boom ones. How long has it been since they've not minded your orders?
You know of this.
I've seen it. Amazing, truly. Well, it wasn't moving, but mystical in size and strength. I couldn't imagine having control of such a thing.
Where did you see this?
Oh, well, I don't know what it was called. There was a bridge and there was a cat. There was a cat who talked and blew smoke. It was wild. But that was right before I got captured
Goobal,
by these ones here.
Tanel loudly clears her throat as if to remind Beery to maybe not talk that much about that.
Goobal looks at the three elves as if he has not understood a single word that Beery has said.
Okay, good.
Tariel is also at a bit of a loss here. She barely understands about the cat thing and just takes another swig of her wine.
And also, I have to give high compliments to your steel. Look, and he unsheathes his shield that he from his back, where he forged a lot of the Drimmy swords from, the kind of folded material. Look, it's kind of a sad story. I found some of your brethren, but I repurposed some of their steel in my shield. So perhaps, their intention and their spirit can live on through the deeds that this can do.
Beery, I need you to make a persuasion check.
Oh, come on.
Ill favor.
Oh, God.
Favor. We got this, guys. It's great. It's great.
No,
This is a good plan.
We're walking across a cultural bridge. Oh, man.
It's always worth the risk. With ill favor, rolled.
Is the bridge gonna break beneath us?
23. Sticking in those mid-20s, baby.
With a 23, Goobal looks at your shield, places a hand down on it, examines it. You have used my brother's steel.
They weren't using it anymore, and I thought it was all right.
Why would they not be using it?
Well, they had a bit of a run-in with Halloweth. I feel like you have a better memory than I do.
Glances over at you, Hal. Go ahead.
There are
Max,
no
sorry.
buses on Middle Earth, and yet you
there is.
threw him right under it.
Yeah. There is now.
Glances at you, Halloweth.
Your brethren was suffering. I ended his suffering, which is true. I was merciful. It was not a cruelty.
Did he die with honor?
Indeed, there was no begging for his life. He took his death valiantly.
It seems I owe you a debt. But the short one has mentioned many of my brothers. Please, if you have news of them, those that traveled to the north, tell me.
When we came upon them, they were already dead, right? We didn't. Those weren't the ones.
Yes, they were
Those are the
all
ones,
already
right,
dead.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
were.
I was like,
they
that
were.
was one. We rode up on orcs. We didn't ride up on Persian. Okay.
It was a mixture of both, I believe, in Dol
It
Guldur.
was. Yes.
Yeah.
Within Dol Guldur, it was a mixture of both Haradrim and orcs.
Okay. To the fate of your brethren, they had fallen when we arrived. I know not how, but I know that the Dark Lord resided in Dol Guldur for a good number of years. I would assume it was by his hand, or if not his directly, then his doing. However, I can only apologize for your loss, as there are greater battles at work now.
So it would seem. Thank you. It has been many weeks since I have heard from those that betrayed us, though my heart still quails for their safety.
Naturally.
What would you have of me? For it seems I owe you a debt.
From whence have you come exactly? What route, what path did you take here?
My path is one that many have not taken. I was sent to Gondor as a spy and infiltrator many years ago. In those years, I discovered that those whom we once sought to overthrow and called truly evil were not so. Only greedy, as all men are. But many days ago, when the mountain, some of whom called Orodruin, spewed forth its belly, I received word from my father. A madness seemed to overtake our Mumak. And he glances quickly at you, Beery. Your people may know them as Oilifants.
Yeah, that's what I think it was Tin that called him that.
It would be, yes, it was.
Sounds about right.
They stampeded. Hundreds of them. Destroying much of our lands, rampaging through our homes, our farms, our marketplaces. And they headed west. So far as I know, my kin still follow their trail. But where that trail may lead, I know not. I head where the road takes me. I have not heard from my father in many months. He is alive. I would know if he was dead.
On your many travels, did you perhaps encounter any of my people, elven folk? Small number, no groups, only a single rider, or maybe two.
Make an awareness check for me, Halloweth.
Oh, I love awareness. Okay. Oh no. I missed my target number by 1.
Okay. Kubol looks you up and down and says, I have not heard of any riders of your kind, though your kind are of legend to mine.
I see. And
If I
what do
may.
you know?
Oh,
Please.
how long ago did your beasts stampede? I mean, when did all this begin? Can you recall?
He takes a second, and his eyes kind of look up into the sky. It has been many weeks. Many weeks. Though the messenger that sent word to me had been on the road for many days.
And when you say west, whereabouts is your point of reference? You know, directions are kind of wishy-washy when you don't know their origin. Where's west to you?
I'll interrupt as Don here for a second. It was south. This is a member of the Haradrim who live
Right.
in the south and western portions of.
Okay. Okay, well, that changes things because I knew they were kind of southeast, right? Yeah, it's okay.
It's pretty much the area directly south of Gondor. Yeah.
Right. But that changes the implication of what he brought up. So
Fair.
don't
Okay.
worry about it.
If okay, then we can ignore that. If anyone else has anything they want to bring up, now is the time.
I think Zach, you had something.
Have you heard any news of the land north of here in Rohan?
We do not concern ourselves with dealings of the people of the north. And it has been many weeks since I have received any news.
That's fair enough.
And yet here you are among the people of the north.
Savages, they used to call me. Though it is true many of our people paid tribute to Sauron. But my kin were victims, caught between a never-ending war between those you would call the Dunedain and Sauron. Our people saw through the lies of the 2 false blue prophets, but our hearts quailed in the minds of Sauron and his might. His emissaries offered us land, jewels, peace. But since then we have only known war.
And now war comes to all these lands.
It would seem for the first time in many years, our goals are the same. Yes. If our own creatures have betrayed us, those who we fostered and cared for, then a change has come.
And what will you do now?
He takes a long moment to consider that. Many of my kin were in that land of fire when it spewed forth its belly. We found this caravan, and they have taken us in. Many cannot walk, many are hurt. I cannot abandon them now. There is no honor in that.
This is a lot to take in.
Is that Charlotte or is that Tariel?
That's Charlotte.
Okay.
Tariel considers all of this. She stands and she begins to pace a bit restlessly around the tent.
The Southron, the member of the Haradrim, says, if You can offer me no more information. I shall take my leave.
Do you have any more questions for us? We can provide what we know.
What of the lands in the north? Do they ride to our aid? With food? Water? With armies?
I have sent for my people to bring what provisions they may, though the bulk of my forces continues to Gondor.
Pinel.
Tanel sort of lets Tariel say that and then sort of mulls over and says, there was a small force from the north heading south as well, but we do not know where they have ended up. They were supposed to arrive weeks ago. The lands even further north than Mirkwood are basically cornered in their own homes. They will not be of aid because they cannot escape.
There is a long silence that sort of exists between the five of you. And he glances down at his feet. And Gulbul looks and scans around at the four of you and says, until we meet again. And walks out of the tent. And the four of you are left alone.
Are we to have to solve centuries and centuries of hurt for everyone to band together under one banner?
Sure seems like it. I thought it'd be easier.
As did I, given the present state of things.
Yeah. So, they're really hanging on to their prejudices, aren't they?
At least they are all traveling together without, hopefully, much incident.
One wonders if it's worth it.
I have no idea where to tell them to go.
Or should they have ever left Gondor in the first place?
I think we can only answer that once we see Gondor for ourselves.
True.
Just tell them it's fine. Don't know what you're talking about. Turn back.
Just turn around.
Go home. Where are you going?
Tariel is still pacing and thinking. And then she turns and stops, looks down at her cup. And then a long look at Beery. But inward. And finally she says, I thought once I understood the hearts of dwarves. I thought they were all of a kind. And I learned that they are as free a people as mine, and yet united and strong in their love for one another and in their love for all that live in these lands. I misjudged them, and I think also that I have misjudged men. I don't know that we have to heal the hurts of centuries. A broken arm can still function with a good bandage. These are a people who long to be free. Perhaps that's all we need. And after that, let them take the roads they will. I think there's something here. I think we can do good here. But not today.
No. I mean, perhaps we continue as we had before to head to Rohan. If we can remove Gwaihir's influence from Rohan, perhaps these people could go there.
I love this plan.
Tariel has a little chuckle to herself. refills her cup and says, "Forgive me, I'm thinking only of whether it's possible for a bird to look shocked." And then just takes another little swig from her cup.
I think
Some
Wombat
internal
has to
image
look-
that's amusing to her.
Wombat has to look upon a pigeon.
Ow.
Let us make a
States,
pigeon
permanent
of this
status.
tyrant.
Let's make
I
a
love
pigeon
this.
of this eagle. This windlord. Yeah. Okay. To Rohan it shall be to behead a snake.
To Rohan and
To
to
Rohan.
pigeons.
To Rohan and to pigeons.
And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode of the Unpredicted Party.
Oh my god.
Join us on
Done.
Patreon for the Unpredicted After Party, where we will talk about this episode. Max, I know you've got to go, but no worries. Carry on. Feel free to let out your sighs of relief, of grief, of frustration now.
I think I prefer
It's
the
so
siege.
much.
The siege
Seven-
was
Why?
less stressful than that.
7 pages of notes.
Whoa! Here's my question. Why are there so many Klingons in Middle Earth?
Because I wrote them that way.
It's so many.
Excellent. It works out great.
I love it.
Thought we would solve this with diplomacy. No, we need batleths.
This goes in line with me saying that the elves are like Vulcans.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. 100%.
So this is great that we
This,
can.
Perfect.
nobody has questioned this.
Oh no.
No, absolutely no one. Nearly 2,000 words of writing from me and 7 pages of notes from Tanel later. We continue to follow the journey of our heroes, the Unpredicted Party. Folks, join us on Patreon for the Unpredicted After Party. We will see you in 2 weeks, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, as our heroes make their way to Rohan. Bye-bye.
Namari.
Bye.
What did you just say, Charlotte?
Heard me.
Say it again for everyone.
Namari, bitches.
Namarie, bitches. Goodbye.